What happens when power, privilege, and spiritual forces collide? Today, we dive deep into the shocking unraveling of Sean Diddy Combs, once a music mogul, now facing accusations of abuse, manipulation, and control. But beyond the legal battles lies an unsettling spiritual connection. Why would Combs, accused of harming women, choose to tattoo his back with the image of Ezili Dantor, the fierce Vodou spirit who fights with vengeance for the very people he's accused of wronging? Is his downfall not just a legal reckoning, but a spiritual one too? This is more than a scandal. It's a battle between fame, justice, and divine forces. Welcome back, lifers, to another episode of Life Points with Rhonda, the podcast that helps you navigate life's challenges with practical wisdom and actionable advice, where we discuss important topics that affect our everyday lives. Today, I am speaking to the collective. Our topic for today is unraveling power, betrayal, and spiritual consequences. The rise and reckoning of Sean Diddy Combs. Now, if you are like me, I know that your time is valuable. So, let's get started, okay? In today's episode, we're diving deep into one of the most significant stories in both the entertainment world and the legal system, the downfall of Sean Diddy Combs. Once revered as a cultural titan, the music mogul has recently been embroiled in a string of lawsuits and criminal charges, each more serious than the last. From allegations of sexual abuse to accusations of running a criminal enterprise, the man who built Bad Boy Records is facing what might be the most severe challenge of his career. But today, we're going even further. There's a spiritual layer to this story that can't be ignored. Sean Combs' decision to tattoo his back with an image of the powerful Vodou spirit, Ezili Dantor, has led to speculation about whether this fierce protector of women is now seeking retribution for his alleged actions. After all, in the Vodou tradition, disrespecting a loa can bring dire consequences. Could his spiritual choices be contributing to his current predicament? As always, listener discretion is advised. This episode contains sensitive material, and terms like sexual abuse and coercion will be discussed under careful terms. To truly understand the gravity of Sean Combs' current situation, we must first look at the empire he built. Born in Harlem and raised in Mount Vernon, New York, Combs entered the music world with fierce ambition. In 1993, he founded Bad Boy Records, quickly becoming one of the most influential figures in hip-hop. His ability to spot talent was unparalleled, launching the careers of the notorious B.I.G., Mace, and Faith Evans, among others. Combs wasn't just a music producer, he was a mogul, expanding into fashion, with Sean John producing hit reality shows like Making the Band and becoming a global icon. Yet, behind the glamorous lifestyle and multi-million-dollar deals, there were always whispers, rumors of aggressive control over his artists, mistreatment of employees, and questionable personal behavior. But these rumors never gained much traction, overshadowed by his undeniable success. The allegations begin to surface. The first major crack in Combs' public image came when his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, filed a lawsuit against him, accusing him of years of abuse, both physical and emotional. The lawsuit described horrifying incidents where she alleged that Combs manipulated, drugged, and coerced her into non-consensual activities, which he called freak-offs. These highly orchestrated events, according to Cassie, were used to control and degrade those involved. Cassie's lawsuit sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry. The accusations were graphic and deeply unsettling, but this wasn't just an isolated incident. As more victims came forward, a pattern emerged. Claims of coercion, violence, and manipulation that spanned years and involved multiple women. Dawn Richard, another former protege, echoed Cassie's allegations, claiming that she too was subjected to abuse under Combs' oversight. The legal cases against Sean Combs have grown increasingly serious. What began as civil lawsuits from women like Cassie soon escalated into federal criminal charges. Combs now faces accusations of racketeering, trafficking, and witness tampering. According to prosecutors, Combs used his wealth and power to manipulate, control, and exploit women for years, often under the guise of professional mentorship. In September, a federal grand jury indicted Combs on these charges, revealing a detailed indictment that described how he allegedly used coercion to control his victims. Prosecutors have argued that Combs operated a criminal enterprise that used threats, violence, and blackmail to silence those who could expose his wrongdoing. The term freak-offs became central to the case. These events, which were reportedly drug-fueled sexual performances involving multiple participants, were allegedly filmed by Combs, who later used the footage to blackmail the participants into silence. This level of control, prosecutors argued, was designed to ensure that no one would speak out against him. At the heart of the story lies an intriguing spiritual element. Sean Combs' full-back tattoo of the Vodou spirit, Ezili Dantor. Ezili Dantor is a powerful Loa in Haitian Vodou, known as the protector of women and children, particularly those who have been abused or oppressed. Dantor is fierce, vengeful, and unwavering in her mission to defend those who cannot defend themselves. Many have been left wondering, why would someone accused of harming women choose to mark his body with the image of a spirit who fights fiercely for the protection of women? In the Vodou tradition, invoking a Loa's image is not something to be taken lightly. The Loa, much like gods in other religions, demand respect and alignment with their values. To betray those values, especially when invoking the protection of a Loa like Dantor, could lead to disastrous consequences. In Vodou mythology, Dantor is known for her role in the Haitian Revolution, where she was believed to have guided the enslaved people to victory against their oppressors. She is also associated with extreme vengeance against those who harm women, and some believe that Combs' tattoo may have brought her wrath upon him. Some spiritualists, including myself and those familiar with Vodou, have speculated that Sean Combs may be suffering the consequences of angering Ezili Dantor. The spirit is known for her vengeance against abusers, and by choosing to have her image tattooed on his body, Combs may have inadvertently called her attention to his actions. Ezili Dantor does not tolerate the mistreatment of women. She is known to defend her followers with ferocity, and if she feels disrespected or betrayed, she can bring severe punishment. Some have wondered if Combs' legal and personal downfall could be linked to Dantor's spiritual influence. After all, in Vodou, disrespecting or misusing the power of a Loa can have life-altering consequences. The spiritual implications of Sean Diddy Combs' tattoo of the Vodou Loa Ezili Dantor are deeply significant, particularly within the Vodou tradition, where the Loa, or spirits, are revered for their power and influence over various aspects of life. Ezili Dantor, a fierce protector of women and children, is specifically associated with vengeance and justice for those who have been abused or wronged. In Haitian Vodou, Dantor is a maternal figure, but also a warrior spirit, often depicted with scars that symbolize her resilience and readiness to fight for the vulnerable. How the Loa's energy works in Vodou tradition. In Vodou, the Loa are not deities in the traditional sense, but rather intermediaries between the human world and the divine. They possess distinct personalities and areas of influence. Serving or invoking a Loa requires understanding and respecting their nature. Ezili Dantor, for example, is closely associated with empowerment, motherhood, and protection, especially for women who have suffered abuse. Her energy is nurturing, but when wronged, she becomes a fierce avenger, defending those under her protection. The relationship between an individual and the Loa is sacred and contractual. When someone chooses to tattoo the image of a Loa, like Ezili Dantor, they are not only honoring her, but also inviting her energy into their life. If the person behaves in ways that contradict the values of the Loa, especially in the case of Dantor, who stands against abuse, this could be seen as an act of disrespect. In Vodou, disrespecting a Loa can result in severe spiritual consequences, as the Loa may withdraw their protection or even bring misfortune upon the individual. Spiritual retribution and the potential consequences for Combs. Given the nature of the allegations against Combs, many have speculated that his tattoo of Ezili Dantor may be contributing to his current legal and personal struggles. In Vodou, it is believed that the LAOA have the power to exact retribution when they are disrespected or when their values are betrayed. As Dantor is known for avenging wrongs committed against women, it's possible that her energy could be working against Combs if the accusations of abuse are proven true. The timing of the legal battles and Combs' tattoo has led some to wonder whether his downfall is not only legal, but also spiritual in nature. For Vodou practitioners, the alignment between one's actions and the Loa they honor is crucial. To invoke Dantor's image while being accused of harming women could be seen as a profound spiritual misstep. In this sense, the spiritual consequences of having Dantor's tattoo while facing allegations of abuse could manifest as the very justice Dantor seeks for those who have been wronged. Public reactions to the tattoo. The public reaction to Sean Combs' Ezili Dantor tattoo has been mixed, but it has sparked a considerable amount of speculation and debate, particularly among those familiar with Vodou culture. Many on social media have commented on the irony of Combs choosing Dantor as a protector, given the nature of the allegations against him. Some have expressed that Dantor's energy might now be working against him, as she is known to defend women from the type of harm that Combs is accused of causing. Others have taken the opportunity to discuss the broader issue of celebrities invoking spiritual symbols without fully understanding their significance. In many African and Caribbean spiritual traditions, symbols like those of the Loa are not simply decorative or aesthetic, but carry deep meaning and power. When used without proper respect or alignment with their values, these symbols can bring about unintended consequences, as some believe may be happening in Combs' case. Cultural conversations about spirituality and accountability. This conversation around spirituality and accountability has resonated beyond the immediate controversy surrounding Combs. In many cultures, particularly those with deep spiritual traditions, like Vodou, there's a belief that actions have both material and spiritual consequences. The idea that Combs could be experiencing spiritual retribution aligns with broader conversations about how people, particularly those in positions of power, must be held accountable, not only in the legal system, but also in the spiritual realm. Ezili Dantor's role as a protector of women and children brings additional weight to these conversations. Many people see the tattoo as symbolic of the tension between Combs' public image and the accusations against him. In a world increasingly focused on justice for survivors of abuse, the tattoo may also serve as a reminder that power, whether spiritual or legal, should not be misused. Conclusion. A symbol of spiritual consequences. Ultimately, the tattoo of Ezili Dantor on Sean Combs' back serves as a focal point in both the spiritual and public conversations surrounding his legal battle. For those familiar with Vodou, it raises questions about the potential spiritual consequences of aligning oneself with a Loa known for defending the very people Combs is accused of harming. Whether viewed as ironic, prophetic, or simply unfortunate, the tattoo adds a compelling layer to the narrative of a man whose actions, both in the material and spiritual world, are now under intense scrutiny. As the court cases against Combs continue to unfold, prosecutors have made it clear that they see him as a danger to the community. Despite attempts by Combs' legal team to secure bail, the court has repeatedly denied his release, citing concerns about witness tampering and obstruction of justice. Assistant U.S. Attorney Emily Johnson described Combs as a serial abuser with a long history of intimidating witnesses. In the courtroom, witness testimonies have been central to the prosecution's case. Many have described years of manipulation, coercion, and violence at the hands of Combs. Prosecutors have submitted text messages, emails, and video evidence to support their claims, painting a picture of a man who used his immense wealth and influence to control those around him. The broader cultural context. The downfall of Sean Combs isn't just a personal story. It's part of a larger cultural reckoning that has swept through Hollywood, the music industry, and beyond. The Me Too movement, which started as a response to rampant abuse and exploitation in the entertainment world, has now begun to touch the realm of hip-hop and R&B, industries that for years seemed largely untouched by the movement's momentum. Figures like R. Kelly and now Sean Combs have found themselves at the center of these long overdue conversations about power, consent, and accountability. Hip-hop, historically, has been a space where hypermasculinity, wealth, and power are often celebrated. For decades, the glorification of these themes shielded individuals from criticism and allowed bad behavior to be swept under the rug. But today, we are witnessing a shift, a moment in which even the most powerful and influential figures are being held accountable for their actions. The accusations against Combs reflect this cultural shift. His alleged manipulation and abuse of women, many of whom were his protégés, speak to the ways in which men in positions of power have historically preyed upon the vulnerable. These women entered his world believing that he would help elevate their careers, only to find themselves subjected to coercion and violence. The broader cultural implications of this case cannot be overstated. It forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about gender, power dynamics, and the pervasive nature of abuse in the entertainment industry. It also challenges the notion that fame and success can somehow shield individuals from accountability. What's next for the case? As Sean Combs' legal battle intensifies, the question on everyone's mind is, what comes next? With multiple lawsuits, criminal charges, and growing public scrutiny, the future looks increasingly uncertain for the man who once seemed untouchable. Legal experts predict that the prosecution will continue to build its case against Combs, with more witnesses likely to come forward. The court has already heard testimony from several women who have detailed years of abuse, coercion, and manipulation. Prosecutors have submitted evidence, including text messages, phone records, and video footage that they say support these claims. The sheer volume of evidence is staggering, and as the trial progresses, more damning information is expected to emerge. For his part, Combs continues to maintain his innocence. His legal team has argued that the relationships he had with the women involved were consensual, and that the charges against him are being blown out of proportion. They have also accused the prosecution of attempting to paint Combs as a monster by focusing on the most salacious details of the case. If convicted, Combs could face significant prison time. The charges of racketeering, sex trafficking, and obstruction of justice carry severe penalties, and many experts believe that Combs is facing the possibility of spending decades behind bars. A conviction would also likely signal the end of his career, as the public and the industry would find it difficult to separate his accomplishments from the serious crimes he's been accused of. But beyond the legal ramifications, this case could have far-reaching consequences for the entertainment industry as a whole. If Sean Combs, one of the most powerful figures in hip-hop, can be taken down by these accusations, it could signal a new era of accountability in an industry that has long been plagued by abuse and exploitation. The outcome of Sean Diddy Combs' legal case will undoubtedly have a profound impact on his legacy. As one of the most influential figures in hip-hop and pop culture, Combs' contributions to the music industry cannot be denied. He revolutionized the genre by founding Bad Boy Records, launched the careers of legendary artists like the Notorious B.I.G., and built an empire that spanned fashion, media, and entrepreneurship. His brand was synonymous with success, reinvention, and influence. The dichotomy of legacy, contributions versus actions. However, as with other high-profile figures facing serious accusations, the question remains whether Combs' legacy can or should be separated from his alleged actions. Public figures like R. Kelly and Bill Cosby once enjoyed immense respect in their respective industries, but saw their legacies irreparably tarnished by allegations of abuse. Similarly, if the charges against Combs are proven, his legacy will likely be tainted, and his contributions to music may be overshadowed by his personal misdeeds. Historically, society has struggled with the notion of separating the art from the artist, especially when the artist has made groundbreaking contributions to culture. In the case of Combs, his influence on hip-hop and his business acumen might continue to be recognized, but his status as a cultural icon could be permanently diminished. If convicted, future discussions about his achievements could come with a caveat, similar to how discussions about other fallen icons have evolved in recent years. Impact on the entertainment industry. Beyond his personal legacy, the case also raises larger questions about the culture of the entertainment industry. Combs' legal battle contributes to the broader reckoning in the music industry, which is being forced to confront its history of exploitation and abuse of power. The Me Too movement has made it clear that the industry can no longer shield its biggest stars from the consequences of their actions. Combs' case could set an important precedent for how future allegations against high-profile music figures are handled. If Combs is acquitted, it's possible that he could attempt to rehabilitate his public image, similar to how other celebrities have tried to bounce back from scandals. However, even in the best-case scenario for Combs, the public's perception of him may remain deeply divided. The allegations alone have caused significant damage to his reputation, and it may take years for him to fully recover from the fallout, if at all. In summary, the legacy of Sean Diddy Combs is now at a crossroads. While his contributions to music are undeniable, the legal battle he faces could redefine how he is remembered. Should the allegations be proven true, his influence on the music industry might be permanently overshadowed by the serious accusations against him. Conversely, even if acquitted, the court of public opinion may never fully absolve him. The entertainment industry, meanwhile, will likely continue to evolve, with a renewed focus on accountability and justice for victims. The cultural and spiritual legacy of Sean Combs. At the height of his career, Sean Diddy Combs was seen as a man who could do no wrong. His influence extended far beyond music, shaping fashion, television, and even pop culture as a whole. Combs was an icon, his name synonymous with success and reinvention. But today, as these serious accusations mount, the question is no longer just about his legal fate, but about his legacy. In Vodou, the LOA are often invoked for protection, guidance, and prosperity. However, they demand respect and alignment with their values. Ezili Dantor, the fierce protector of women and children, is known for her ability to bring vengeance upon those who harm her followers. With the allegations against Combs centering around his abuse of women, it is no wonder that some believe his choice to tattoo Dantor on his back may be part of his undoing. Disrespecting such a powerful spirit can have severe consequences, and many wonder whether his downfall is, in part, spiritual in nature. Combs' tattoo of Ezili Dantor has sparked much debate. Some believe that by aligning himself with such a powerful Loa, Combs may have invited her wrath, particularly given the nature of the allegations against him. Dantor does not tolerate the abuse of women, and her vengeance is known to be swift and unforgiving. The irony of Combs choosing to honor Dantor only to face accusations of harming women is not lost on those familiar with the Vodou tradition. As the trial continues and more evidence comes to light, Combs' legacy hangs in the balance. His achievements in the music world cannot be denied, but neither can the serious charges he faces. For many, this case will be a defining moment, not just for Combs, but for the entire entertainment industry. Will Combs be remembered as the mogul who revolutionized hip-hop, or as a man who used his power to exploit and harm those around him? Only time will tell. Conclusion: a reckoning on all fronts. As we close today's episode, one thing is clear. Sean Diddy Combs is facing a reckoning. Not just in the courts, but in the public eye, and potentially even in the spiritual realm. The accusations against him are serious, and the consequences could be life-altering. For a man who once seemed untouchable, the walls are closing in. Whether or not Ezili Dantor, the fierce protector of women, is playing a role in his downfall, the message is clear. Abuse of power will no longer go unchecked. Combs is being held accountable for his alleged actions, and this case is a reminder that no amount of fame or success can shield someone from the consequences of their behavior. As we continue to follow this case, we encourage you to stay informed and engaged. This story is far from over, and the implications it holds for both the legal system and the entertainment industry are profound. If you found today's episode as eye-opening as we did, make sure to subscribe for more in-depth coverage of breaking stories in entertainment, culture, and spirituality. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you believe there's a spiritual element at play in Diddy's downfall? Leave a comment or connect with us on social media. And if you haven't already, follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok for the latest updates. Don't miss a single episode. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you're always in the loop on the stories that matter. Thanks for joining me on Life Points with Rhonda. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more relationship tips and life advice. Looking for more in-depth conversations and exclusive content? Visit my website at lifepointswithrhonda.com. Discover insightful podcasts, blog posts, and resources that will help you build stronger relationships and improve your daily life. Join our community on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for daily inspiration and updates. And remember, every relationship starts with you. Let's make life better together.